During the Cochise College basketball broadcasts, we often talk about how the campus in Douglas becomes a United Nations, drawing players from all over the world. And the men's Apache basketball team has had some outstanding international players over the years. And today we get to talk with one of them. He is the wonder from down under, the newest member of the NBA's Houston Rockets Summer League team, the 6', 11-inch, 255-pound Oscar Cluff, as well as his mentor and Cochise College men's basketball coach, Jerry Carrillo, on this episode of Student Athlete Spotlight, presented by the Ed Morse Automotive Group. All of Cochise County is backed by Morse. Coach, Oscar, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh, we are so excited about this. And Jerry, we'll bring you into the interview here in just a couple minutes. I'd like to start with Oscar because we wanted to learn how Oscar appeared on your radar and how you came to hear about him and then see him in person and how that all came to be to get him to Douglas for Cochise College. But Oscar, my friend, you are from Queensland, Australia, considered the sunshine state of your home country. As Americans, most of us will never get to travel all the way to Australia. So I'd like to ask you, what was it like growing up in Queensland, and what was your family life like? What did your parents do for a living?
So we kind of have like a small family. It's kind of just me, mom, and dad. And both of them run their own businesses. And dad's was in pool care, and mom's was in web design. And so kind of growing up, I was growing up on the beach. I grew up on the coastline of Queensland. Did a lot of swimming, a lot of outdoor stuff at the beach, just stuff like that, you know, like, I think it's a little different than living in Douglas, but yeah, it was cool.
We'll talk about that transition from the sunshine of Australia to the sunshine of Southern Arizona, as you made your way through this amazing journey that has brought you to where you are right now, currently in Tempe, getting ready to head to Houston, this weekend. Growing up, did you have a propensity toward basketball? When did you start playing?
No, so I was a late bloomer in basketball. Started playing at like 15, 16. Didn't have any high school clips or anything like that. Just picked it up late and then kind of, you know, fell in love with it and just found my way with it.
And so when you say late, I mean, was this when you were at Cochise State College for preparatory school?
Yeah, it was kind of grade 12. Kind of picked it up. We didn't have a high school basketball team. We had a soccer team and a surf team.
Were you on surf team?
I was.
A high school surf team. So you got to letter in surf, basically, is what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Is now Queensland, you know, is the Sunshine Coast of Australia. It's known for its surfing, obviously. Have you been to other surf locations, like over in California or any other part of the world?
Just Hawaii, kind of probably the other one. I haven't really been to the coast much since I've been.
How does Hawaii surf compare to Queensland surf?
I think Hawaii's a little nicer, but pretty similar.
So when your high school career was literally just starting as far as basketball goes, and then coming to that next level, do you remember when you first learned about Cochise College?
Like what I first learned about it?
Yeah. When did you first hear about Cochise?
It was in Arizona probably, and then that was as far as it got. So I Googled Arizona, and I was like, oh, that seems right.
And what was your impression like when you were looking to go to schools for basketball? Where did Cochise rank? How many schools were you looking at?
So there were only a few schools that I was kind of connected to in the process, and Cochise was probably one of the higher ones. And then I guess everything just worked out where that was the best spot.
And Coach, obviously, we mentioned Cochise being a United Nations. As the sports teams there are always scouring the globe to find the best athletes for the programs at the school. Do you remember when you first heard about a gentleman by the name of Oscar Cluff?
Yeah, it was 29 during the 1920 season. A a dad of a former player of ours, Vern Roboteau. Darnell Roboteau was our point guard on our team that won the league in 2018-19. He's a very good player, and Vern was involved. Vern's from the United States and played professionally in Australia and moved there and worked with Oscar in a club setting. And he sent me some video. He contacted me, recommended him, and there wasn't, as Oscar said, there wasn't a lot of footage of him, but I trusted Vern, and obviously he had, what we saw in the video, he had length, size, and he was coordinated and looked like he was tough. And I think it was an interesting deal because it was COVID when we signed him going into the COVID year, and him and his dad Steve really stayed really loyal and opted not to. It would have been too expensive, in the COVID year of 2021. We played our games didn't start till January, and so Oscar hung tight, and he was able to come out in fall of 21 and was literally helped us win championships. And we had two really, really good teams. One of them went undefeated, only last team in our state history to go 22-0 in the league. But his freshman year, he led us to the district game. We won the region, and he impacted winning in a large way. He really, really did. So he was very impressive.
And it was a bet that obviously paid off for you, being able to just not have a whole lot of game film to be able to look at him, and then have the COVID year where you had to wait that extra time to be able to actually see the production on the court in the NJCAA. Let's talk about Oscar. When you first came to America, were you as impressed by ranch dressing as all the other foreigners who are visiting our country right now during the World Cup?
Yeah, ranch is very, very high off of my list.
What was it like? Was that your first time coming to the United States?
Yep. So that was coming over was my first time out of Australia, and I was by myself. Came over by myself and got picked up from one of the old assistants, Jason Hopkins, and I went to Denny's for my first meal, and it was interesting.
It's funny the things you remember. What was it like when you first met Coach Carrillo in person?
I don't know if I remember actually first meeting, but I think there was just a lot going on at the time. It was moving into those dorms, if you want to call them that, and it was cool.
And you spent 2 years at Cochise College, 2 outstanding years, as Coach Jerry talked about. What are some of the aspects of the game that you learned from ACCAC Hall of Famer Jerry Carrillo during your time at Douglas that maybe you've been able to take with you during each subsequent step along the way?
Learn a lot of the things that I missed starting late. I would have learned a lot of the basics, and then also a lot of the feel for the game and how to play the game properly.
And if you could sum up your time during those 2 years at the Cochise College Douglas campus, how would you tell someone about what that experience was like?
I'd say the perfect experience to do once.
Mm-hmm.
One time home.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you definitely made the most of it, and had some great teammates there that you were able to work with. And after your time at Cochise, you did Washington State, then South Dakota State before transferring to Purdue. And that was, talk about a team. That was an incredible team that we all watched you on, going all the way to the Elite Eight of the college basketball tournament. Talk about that experience at Purdue in Indiana with the Boilermakers and making such a deep run in the tournament. Were you expected to be just such a major part of that team? And what was that experience like?
Well, kind of getting recruited out of the portal from South Dakota State. Purdue kind of needed a big man to come in and step up, and so it felt like a good fit for me. And I I guess finding my way towards the end of the season to play as many minutes as I did and help the team as much as I did was obviously something you can't really expect too much. But I did. I got there, and it was, one of the best experiences of my life to this day. So.
Well, we loved watching it from back here in Arizona, being able to see one of our own that came through our area make it to such a high level. And we always love talking about the student part in the phrase student athlete. Were you able to finish your degree? And if so, what was your major?
So yeah, I got my degree from South Dakota State, just in general studies, and then I got a certificate from Purdue in sports management.
Nice. Do you plan on using that in the future, obviously many, many years from now, or is that possibly something that you could do while pursuing the NBA?
I think it's something that I could possibly use in the future. I wouldn't see me using it in the near future, but definitely it's good to have and would be something that's always there for me to have, go to.
Without a doubt. Coach Carrillo, we know how excited you get to see your players go on to larger stages of their careers after Cochise College, but how proud does it make you as a coach and as a person to see your former players complete their degrees?
It's huge. A couple of years ago, I went out to the University of Delaware and went to a former player of mine's graduation. I said, man, if you ever graduate, Jalen Trent graduated from the University of Delaware, played with Oscar, was a sophomore when Oscar was a freshman, and went out there, and it was really proud because, he came from a tough life, and his mom was really proud of him. It was cool to go out there, but we do a good job at Cochise of making sure these guys, are academically sound so they can move on.
Without a doubt, and Oscar is obviously living proof of that. Oscar, the next chapter comes. The NBA is at your doorstep. Now, in the NFL, the draft is something that is a spectacle all of its own. The NBA draft came and went, and you weren't drafted. Was that a disappointment for you?
I guess yes and no. I mean, it wasn't expected, so no in that department. But then, you're obviously not happy with some of the results, and that's just how it goes. And it's just another opportunity to prove myself in summer league.
And let's talk about that. What were the feelings going on inside of you when the Houston Rockets called to invite you to be a part of their summer league?
Yeah, it's good. It's just they believe in me enough to have them on the summer league team. So now it's just showing them more.
Let's talk about the NBA Summer League schedule. What is it like? How long does it last?
Well, I think I got 4 games scheduled so far, but I think it's a minimum of 5. 2 games in the first week, 2 games in the second week, and then playoffs or finals, whatever you want to call it. And then so if you win every game, you probably play up to like 3 extra games. And then if you lose every game, you just play 1.
And after the summer league ends, what is the next goal for Oscar Cluff?
We'll see how the summer league goes first, and then kind of determine from there.
So, Coach, you know Oscar. You know the tangible skills that he has. If you could express to the watching viewers here, maybe even some executives from other NBA teams that are going to be Googling and finding out about him coming across this interview, as someone who spent years with him and who he credits as helping to develop that talent and love for this beautiful game of basketball, what are those tangible and intangible skills that he possesses that makes you believe that he'd be an excellent fit in the NBA?
Good question. I think he wins. In his 5-year college career of playing 5 years, he amassed like 130 wins. And he won championships. When he went, he led us to 2 championships and was dominant. Went to Washington State, and they hadn't been in the NCAA tournament and God knows how long, and they went to the round of 32. He went to South Dakota State and was probably the best player in the Summit. And then, he helped. He was one of the best. He was arguably could have been the MVP of the Big Ten tournament, which they beat Michigan in the championship game, and then made it to the Elite Eight and battled against Arizona's bigs like no other. But I say winning and being a positive, great teammate. He's impactful. I think an NBA roster couldn't go wrong with having a guy that's going to be a great teammate. And that goes a long way. I think, and then obviously he can rebound and he can score the ball around the basket, and he gets his team extra possessions. But he is a great teammate.
Well, Oscar, we look forward to watching the rest of the career unfold, and we wish you the best of luck in the Summer League and for all the success that is yet to come for you. It's been an honor to watch that career begin and start to blossom from Douglas, from Queensland to Douglas, and now going to Houston this weekend. How excited are you to land and get meeting with your teammates and starting off the Summer League?
Yeah, it's great. Couldn't be more excited.
Man, well, we're excited to watch it all unfold. We can't thank you guys enough for your time today. Oscar Cluff, NBA Houston Rockets Summer League man from Cochise College, and of course, head coach Jerry Carrillo, the men's basketball coach at Cochise College. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's a pleasure talking to you. And Coach, I know we'll see you soon. And Oscar, we look forward to seeing you on the TV screens in the next coming weeks here on our screens. So thank you guys for your time, and thank you for watching this episode of Former Student Athlete Spotlight, spotlighting Oscar Cluff, the amazing student athlete from Cochise College, making his way through the college ranks and now into the National Basketball Association. All of it is brought to you by the Morse Automotive Group. Sierra Vista and all of Cochise County is backed by Morse. If you know friends who enjoy basketball, who love the NBA, make sure you share this video with them and let them know that Oscar Cluff, the guy who they saw in the Elite Eight earlier in the tournament this year, he is on his way to the Houston Rockets, and he spent time in Cochise College. What an awesome opportunity to have called his games and seen him grow and now get to this point, and we wish him all the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon.